How ironic is it that after I made this video, I'm now making this one? Well, I can explain. I mean, there's a few reasons, but to be honest, I kind of want to put a cap on this topic. I don't want to talk about it anymore, and I'm just gonna, I guess, summarize my thoughts in this video and just leave it at that after I post this video. But in a year of DDoSing and of invisible hackers, there's definitely a few things to touch on. This is probably going to be the last time that I actually try to talk about this and speak about Rocket League in a more broad sense. But to kind of summarize what I'm going to talk about, well, I'm going to mention a few things, but let's just start off by saying the content, dry. The actual community...
Oh my cringe. Can this bot please stop? Yeah, faked you out.
Dry. The pro scene, dry. A lot of them are dry, alright? Like, a lot of aspects of Rocket League are a little bit dry. I don't think... As I've always said, I don't think the game is dying. Like, I've always said this. I just think it's natural that there's some, I guess, small decline in the player base. Like, that's normal because, I'm gonna be honest, after free-to-play, it was only gonna be downhill in terms of the player base because unless they did something huge with Rocket League, it wasn't gonna recover a lot of those lost free-to-play people. And I've seen it in my friends list, I've seen it with people who I know. They haven't played Rocket League for a while. It's because it's not like there's much motivation to do so. I don't think they've given the casual community enough. And at the end of the day, it's not like bringing back trading will actually bring all those casual players back. It's not like they even used trading in the first place. And I'm going to talk about the casual community a lot because I think there seems to be a big disconnect between providing things for the casual community and providing things for the more, I guess, for the whole community. And I think they need to target the casual community. Would I say I'm casual? Kind of. I'd say casuals are like people below champ. I think diamonds and plats. There's loads of plats and there's loads of diamonds. I think people who are in the more casual side of Rocket League should be getting more game modes, should be able to access a lot more maps. Like on Fortnite, for example, you can have map codes, you can create maps on Fortnite creative mode. That should be a thing for Rocket League. I think there should be open access for that. It shouldn't be like a third party kind of thing, like where Leth does it through his own thing. It needs to be able to be done on Rocket League, on Epic Games. It shouldn't be such a big disconnect between the actual community and the game. The game needs to be able to host maps, to have different game modes, and I think to kind of allow for people to kind of experience something different because there is no creativity at the moment. I think that's the biggest problem. I don't think it's like the gameplay. I mean, sure, I could complain about servers for a while, okay? Servers are still a problem, but I don't really think that's the bottom line here. The bottom line is probably that there's not enough innovation, I guess. That's like what I've been talking about for a while. I think even the YouTube scene, you can tell when it's dry because of content where people will make like an entire video out of Zen. Like, no disrespect, but obviously it's like, yeah, it's pretty dry. And it's not like you can do much about it because this is it. This is the hand you've been dealt with. It's kind of the game and the state we're at the moment. I don't think, again, it's dramatically bad. It's not awful. I think the game is still pretty active. I think the community which actually plays this game is very, very active because it's got a very good core. But beyond that, it's kind of weak. I mean, there's not enough innovation, there's not enough motivation as well, that's another word I want to use, to get people to play the game more. Like, for example, you have clubs which haven't been touched since they've been added. You have tournaments which are kind of still not ideal. I don't really like tournaments at all, actually. And I think, to some extent, smurfing and boosting, I guess, is still a kind of big problem. I think matchmaking could be a lot better, especially in lower ranks. I think there's a problem with plats as well because I have seen some ridiculous screenshots. People facing guys who are way above them and people who are on Smurf accounts, people who are getting boosted, you name it, it's all there, especially in twos because there's no repercussions for it. I mean, you can do it kind of openly now and you really won't get banned. I don't think you get banned at least. I mean, I've reported, I think 2 or 3 people, one I guess for smurfing, one guy for literally just cursing out in the entire lobby. Neither of them have been banned. I think I reported them last week. What's funny and why I'm mentioning this is because it kind of shows you that the report system as well doesn't really work. Like I reported I think 3 people, not 2. There's one more I've reported, all for very valid reasons. I mean, guys being toxic to their teammates, guys throwing the match on purpose, and lo and behold, no one's been banned. They're all just still doing their thing. And it's so weird to me, and like it makes me think, does Psyonix actually care? Like, we talk about Epic, right? Of course it's Epic that runs the game, but does Psyonix actually care though? Like, seriously, it's down to Psyonix to kind of manage these things. It's not Epic Games, it's not Tim Sweeney who can go ahead and ban these people. it's Psyonix. Psyonix is in charge of reporting, of, I guess, banning people, in charge of the actual core game and communication, and they've pretty much done nothing. They've not given us anything, and to be honest, they did say one tweet or something. They tweeted something out earlier this year. Nothing really happened after that tweet. Yeah, it was about rocket racing. Rocket racing isn't our main focus. Seriously, it was all just a bunch of garbage. It was just waffle. It didn't mean anything. That's it. It did not mean absolutely anything. So what I'm gonna say is Psyonix definitely need to be held accountable, aside from Epic, but it's down to Epic, of course, to actually get everything together. I mean, they're the guys who own the game, and the scene, I guess the Rocket League scene and the pro scene, which is something I'm going to touch on, is kind of struggling on the outside because, and I guess on the inside, because if you think about it, there isn't enough investment. When you see teams which are pulling out in the off-season and not actually fielding rosters, it's because they can't afford it. I mean, it's not affordable anymore to actually run teams in Rocket League because there isn't any off-season tournaments. There's no support from Epic in that side or that field of the game. They kind of don't care. I mean, I think people have realized this, but they don't really care about the off-season. And when it's the off-season, who actually gives a crap if the pros aren't doing anything? I mean, sure, there could be more tournaments like Salt Mine, which Johnny Boy hosts. There could be more tournaments that Psyonix could host and Epic could host. Instead, we're kind of forced to have this third-party connection where, as I said, guys like Johnny Boy do their own thing and try get pros to play in scrims. Also, people just go in scrims on Discord. Like, there's no real, I guess, element of, oh, there's an actual good pro scene in this game. I mean, there's good viewership, there's some good money on the line, but at the end of the day, if you're not winning RLCS tournaments, then it's probably not that beneficial anymore. So, you know, keep that in mind. And that's another problem which I've wanted to touch on. Honestly, that's probably the last problem I want to touch on. I don't think there's much more. I've already said that servers are still a problem, but we move. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I don't think there's much more to say. I mean, again, I could drag this on for longer. There's more problems, but it's not like it's the end of the world. I'm saying Rocket League might be dry for the next few months, but I have been hopeful. There has been some signs. I'm not going to say definitive signs, but there's been some signs that 2025 will be a bigger year, basically. That's all I'm going to say. So expect a really dry end to 2024, but expect something bigger, I guess, for early 2025. Not much more than that, and don't have, you know, overly high expectations anyways. You know, always have in doubt that, oh, it's Epic. So yeah, we'll leave it there. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate the support on the channel, and also make sure to have a good day or night wherever you are. And I'll see you next time.